Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton with the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm interviewing Walter Bernard, an attorney and partner at the law offices of Walter A. Bernard. Thank you so much for joining us, Walt.
Thank you, Debbie.
Well, so tell me about the law offices of Walter A. Bernard, and what do you do as a partner in a law firm?
So as a partner, what I do is I'm responsible for managing all the cases that come in, make sure that they get handled. And we focus on various areas of law. So we focus on civil litigation, meaning when somebody wants to sue somebody else, whether that's a breach of contract or a slip and fall case where someone is injured, we can sue other people. We also do various criminal defense work. So if someone's in trouble with the law, we help defend those clients. And we also do various business transactions. If a company or someone needs certain types of paperwork for the business, we're responsible for drafting that paperwork or going over reviewing it.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your career path? Did you always think you would be a lawyer?
No, my career path was very non-traditional. Most people that I know in my industry, they knew from a young age that they wanted to be a lawyer. They took classes growing up, and then they went, right to undergrad, and then they went to law school, and then they came out and became a lawyer. I grew up not kind of knowing what I wanted to do, and sometimes that's okay. I kind of just figured it out along the way. I wanted to be, a professional athlete, which I was able to obtain. But growing up, I always made sure that, my grades were well, because a lot of those skills that you learn at a young age are transferable into any industry that you go into. So it's important that you stay disciplined, that you strive to do your best in whatever area you're in. When I came into college, I was fortunate enough to get a full ride scholarship for football. And when I came to college, I was first a biology major, and I kind of switched majors. I ended up graduating with a film degree because I wanted to make movies. I wanted to write movies, and so I worked in the industry a little bit, just on different sets, different productions, and I was constantly wanting to learn. When I graduated, I was fortunate enough to sign with the NFL team, and with the NFL, you think that you're going to play forever. And, I worked hard in that arena. It was a short career. And afterwards, I didn't know what I wanted to do still. My career was cut short by injuries. And while I was in rehab, rehabilitating my injury, I came back to play football. And shortly after I was recovered, I was injured again. And so I figured, hey, I need to find a career that is more steady. So what I did was I did my own research, and I noticed that I always loved to, debate people. In high school, my first year, I was on the debate team. So I love to look at different perspectives of people. And so what I did was I tried to look at a career where I felt that it would align my skill set. And the things that I learned in football would be transferable. I think, I said, hey, I want to try to become a lawyer. And I always thought lawyers were just, top echelon. At first, it was intimidating. I thought it was unattainable, being an athlete and trying to transfer over to a career in law. So I applied to different schools throughout the nation. And when I first came to law school, I was going against, people who were coming from Ivy League schools. And, it was a little intimidating at first, but I knew from my past experiences that there was a formula that worked for me. And that was not to let anyone outwork me and to constantly work at my craft. So when I had some of my other classmates in law school, they were having fun. They were doing a lot of partying. I would sacrifice, and I'll spend my Saturdays at the library, just trying to make up for quote unquote lost time. So I used the skill set that I learned growing up in sports to transfer over to school, and it worked.
So, what do you love now that you're practicing law?
I love helping people, and I love to, no matter who the client is, I love to be able to look at their situation, think strategically, come up with a game plan, and stick to the game plan, and then let the outcome determine, whether good or bad. And there's always a lesson to be learned, when you're going through something. So I equate it to sports again. When you have a game coming up or you have practice, you're constantly training, you're constantly trying to put yourself in game situations, and you're trying to prepare yourself for game day. And law is very similar. So when a client comes in, you look at it and you hear their story, and then you try to take their story, you use your knowledge of what you know about the law, and then you game plan, similar to sports. So you game plan, you go in the case with the best knowledge, and you fight for your client. And sometimes you can't determine the outcome. So with sports, you train, you work at your craft. Sometimes the other side, they beat you, but that's to be expected. And sometimes your biggest lessons that you learn are in the losses, and they're not in the wins. So when you lose, you regroup, and you decide, what could I have done better, and you move on from that. But I think it's important, no matter where you're at in life, is to have a short memory when it comes to your wins and losses. So if you win, you don't want to sit and dwell on it. You want to move and build off of that. And the same thing with a loss or an outcome that is not favorable to you. You want to take what you did, learn from it, and use it to build.
So, if I'm a student in high school and I'm thinking about pursuing a career in law, what kinds of questions should I ask myself to know if it might be a good fit for me?
I would say the biggest question is to why you want to get into this industry. Is it, some people do it for monetary reasons, because they want to help their family out. And I've always been told, don't do anything for money, because once you get the money, then you lose the passion for it. I would say, as a high school student, one of the things that you have to know is, do you like to read? Are you a problem solver? Because it does require a lot of reading. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like dry reading, so to speak. When I was in high school, I didn't love reading, but I loved reading things that I guess I was attracted to. So to prep for even law school, someone's thinking about law school, it's best to get your hands on as much reading material as you can, and just read stuff that you aren't familiar with. I think it actually helps your retention level, it helps comprehension. And one of the biggest things I think helped me was, you don't want to always read something from one source. So it's always great to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their perspective, because when you understand the other side, you're better able to make certain arguments.
What kind of advice would you offer to students who are considering being an attorney?
I would say the biggest advice is, you don't have to I best choose now. I think that whatever your passion is, continue to do those things. Law school typically is around 3 years. A law degree is one of the few postgraduate degrees where it's very broad. So you can graduate with any type of degree and still make it in law. And if I'm in high school, one of the things I would recommend is, if you play sports, continue to play sports. Find something. If you play an instrument, I think instruments are great, because those types of activities, extracurricular activities, they teach you discipline. They teach you what it takes to, if you want to be good at anything, it teaches you hard work. And so, if you like cooking, you want to read on cooking. You want to come up with your own recipes. But that passion is going to be transferable, make you a great lawyer. A lot of people nowadays, they're scared to fail. They're scared to put themselves out there. And I think it's important for high school students to realize, when you put your foot forward, you are going to have failures. Everyone fails, but It's the ones that aren't scared to go out there and try something. So if you're thinking about something, I say try it and go for it, because whether it works out the way you want it to or it doesn't, and a lot of times it doesn't work out, but you're going to gain certain lessons, certain experiences that will be transferable, that you'll be able to use later on. You'll be able to see certain things from people's perspective that you wouldn't have had you not tried something.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experiences with us today.
All right, you're welcome.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!